Now to our guests for the 5 o'clock edition of the Sportscast and a fan favorite around these parts. Please, a warm welcome to the UT's Mark Zeigler. Let's start with can we start with hoops?
Let's do hoops.
Let's
start with season.
Yeah, it's
great.
The Aztec home preseason opener didn't get a lot of play because it fell on the wrong night as far as everything was going on. But you were there, I assume, so talk about
it was a great night for them. I mean, I'm telling you, in the space of about an hour, all these things happened. They started playing really well. They played really, really well in the second half. Devin Watson, who looked like he might have broken a finger, turned out it was only jammed. He hit 6 threes. They get the results from Measure G in the middle of that. And then, right after the game ends, they turn their phones on. Coaches go back to the locker room. They got to recruit.
That's a good 60 minutes.
That's pretty darn good.
Let's break it down one at a time. Let's start with what did you see on that court that you liked, and what did you see on that court that gave you concern?
Well, what I saw that I very much liked was they shared the ball. And I didn't see that in the exhibition against Chaminade. They passed it quickly.
Oh, man, I was worried when...
That was a pretty ugly game.
Yeah.
And they shared the ball. They moved it. They were good in transition. They were good defensively. And there was about a 4-minute stretch in the second half. They looked as well as a team any team I've seen in the last few years. They looked very, very good. What I didn't like so much, obviously, the freshmen are very far behind because the 2 freshmen that they think may help them lost a bunch of time. They've been hurt. And so they've got to get up to speed. They'll be very, very good, but they need them now because the schedule is very tough.
All right, so how sick do you think Brian Dutcher got when he was watching Duke thrash Kentucky, knowing that after Texas Southern, I mean, these 3 guys, according to the NBA, they're going to go 1, 2, and 3 in the NBA, and they all play. I mean, what's going to happen in Mountain?
Well, you know what's funny? You just mentioned Texas Southern. Yeah, they knew Duke was going to be good. But Texas Southern, they play the next Wednesday. Everyone thought, well, you know, that's just Texas Southern. They're coming in, and we'll roll over them, and then we'll go deal with Duke. Texas Southern went into Baylor, down 17, came back and won at Baylor. And so Baylor had a 45-game winning streak at home against non-conference unranked opponents, and they broke it. And so now they've got a tough game to worry about on Tuesday, so they're not even thinking about Duke at this point. I think they were going to worry about them this week, and now they're not.
Zion Williamson may be the #2 player on that list that we just showed, but he's a top talent to one guy.
Yeah.
Listen to what Steve Kerr had to say on Wednesday.
No, but I saw some kid on Duke last night who was pretty impressive. My goodness. I probably can't say anything more or mention his name. I thought LeBron was, I thought that was a one-shot deal, but apparently the next guy's coming. And before I get fined, I'm going to change the subject.
Tell us about...
Well, I won't get fined. It's Zion Williamson. And I thought the exact same thing when I saw him. I said, that's the next LeBron. Because he's big, he's mobile, he plays multiple positions, and you just can't stop him. He can shoot the 3. He's stronger than everybody else out there. It's going to be, they're going to have their hands full. But, you know, every team's going to have their hands full with him. So, you know what? If you're San Diego State, you just go out and take your shot because they're very good.
Is Duke going to break San Diego State's heart twice when Boogie makes his announcement tomorrow at 7 o'clock?
Well, I can tell you Boogie also was at San Diego State's practice today, the day before his announcement, which would be, you know, you'd think would be promising news for San Diego State, but I think he's going to pick Duke.
And you've said that twice, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm never wrong, right?
Yeah, never. Speaking of which, can you talk about, you were alluding to the youngster who committed, or verbally committed to Dutch. Tell us about him.
So his name's Keyshawn Johnson. He's from Oakland. He's a typical San Diego State player. He's 6'7", long, athletic, really, really versatile. A lot of different skill sets, and completely under the radar recruiting. 6 months ago, no one giving him an offer. He's a lot like Billy White. People remember him from the 34-3 team. And San Diego State's been very, very lucky. I mean, they've hit on a lot of these guys. The last guy that no one thought was any good that they got was a guy named Jalen McDaniels, and now he's an NBA prospect. So the fact that they think highly of him should bode well.
But you know, everyone else now is going to say, "Oh, what did they do?"
Yeah, who's this guy?
All right, but you know, we can't talk to you without talking about Measure G. Rocky Long Wednesday, after the game that you went to, and after the measure passed so successfully in their favor, take a listen to what Rocky Long had to say about the timeline to getting a new stadium.
This will not shock you, but our seniors and juniors in the program realized what was going on, but the freshmen and sophomores had no idea. Well, I think that the plan is to have a football stadium in place in the project in 4 or 5 years, and that means that anybody we recruit this year that'll be a freshman next year will probably play in it. So obviously we'll recruit using that as a point that we make to all possible recruits. But, I mean, it's a lot bigger deal than just a football stadium.
Yeah, to me, it's the football stadium is part. The expansion is great for the school, but I want the stadium. And I think a lot of people like me.
Sports guys and yourself.
Yeah, right? Is Rocky's timeline a little optimistic, knowing how litigious things are around here?
It's San Diego, so anything is optimistic. If you're just trying to build an outhouse in San Diego, it's going to take 5 times as long as you expect. I mean, that's just the reality of where we live. They want to open it the fall of 2022. We saw Petco Park. But I will say this, they are very serious about moving this thing along, and they will move it as quickly as humanly possible.
True or false? Rocky Long will coach the first game in that new stadium.
I'm going out on a limb here. I'm saying true. Even if it's 2023 or 2024, I think he's still here. That guy, every time I see him, looks younger and younger and younger. You know, we all get older. He gets a year younger every year.
Mark, thank you for
coming.
My pleasure. Enjoy the time in Hawaii tonight on the ASR. Brandon Stone will be bringing you highlights from all these contests. We're going to announce the Silver Pigskin finalists coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Hope you stay tuned for that.